Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain For You. As you can see, it snowed hard. I don't know, probably got about 8 or 10 inches on the ground, maybe about 8. Today I want to talk about, I was feeling better, but it came back. Or I had a pain flare. Because honestly, they're both very similar in nature. And the recommendations I have for a pain flare is pretty much the same as, you know, you feeling a little bit better for a while and then all of a sudden the pain comes back, sometimes with a vengeance. So, it's cold out here, snow's hitting my face, so I'm going to be blinking a lot. But I'm going to turn around this way so you can get the view behind how beautiful it is. Plus the wind's at my back now, so I don't get hit in the eyes with snow. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Actually catch my breath, because walking through the snow from my back door to here, it's a little tiring. So, breathe in the peace. Breathe in the love. Exhale the hate. Breathe in the feel goods. Exhale the hurts. So, pain flares or symptoms coming back after you've been doing better happens all the time. Why? Because healing is a zigzag, it's not a straight line. You start to feel better, you have a setback. You start to feel better, you have a setback. And the key to these setbacks is to not panic, right? Freaking out won't help you. And if each time you get a setback, you start to jump back into the, oh my God, I thought it was TMS, but now that the pain came back, it must not be. No, that's actually evidence that it's TMS. The fact that you were feeling better is evidence that it's not structural or physical in nature. And so the fact that it came back just means that the nervous system and the brain have still not completely settled on this safety concept that you're okay. Maybe there's a doubt about your physical body that caused the pain to return. Maybe there's something that's going on stress-wise, emotionally, socially, professionally, that's got you stressed out and the symptoms started to come back. It's simply your brain perceiving some type of danger, and the nervous system reacts, and you know, a long-standing symptom like pain or other symptoms, even weakness, burning, numbness, tingling, can come back. And it's simply, in my opinion, just more evidence that it's TMS, and the fact that you've got ups and downs in your recovery means that you can teach the brain to have more downs, meaning when the symptoms are lower. Sorry, I'm going to turn. The wind is blowing hard. Hopefully it's not too loud here. I'm going to try to get behind the house or something. So look, the primary thing to do when the symptoms return, if they've been gone for a little while or lower for a while, or if your symptoms are kind of steady but then all of a sudden they spike, the primary thing to do is to just breathe, to know that this is all part of recovery. It is not unusual. It doesn't mean you screwed something up. You didn't do anything wrong. It just means TMS is doing what TMS does, which is being very unpredictable, right? I like to joke that the only thing predictable about TMS is its unpredictability. And so important to just settle yourself down, calm yourself down, because if you allow this pain coming back or this spike in pain to freak you out, what are you teaching the brain? You're teaching the brain that there is actually danger, because you're responding as if you're in danger. And I get it, I understand it. When the pain is hitting, and it's hitting hard, or the symptoms are hitting hard, it feels dangerous. I get it. But please understand that TMS is created in the brain. There's a lot of people who still vacillate between the body and the brain, the body and the brain. And I get that it's a challenging concept to really buy into completely, that your body's okay when in fact it feels like your body is hurting so bad. So again, a reminder, we rule out the life-threatening, we rule out the catastrophic stuff, and then we rule in this thing called TMS, the mind-body syndrome. And it's pretty straightforward. Once you've done that, anything that seems like it's in the middle, you know, if it feels physical but you've ruled in TMS and it's not anything life-threatening, then it's TMS. And so as much as I can suggest, accept the fact that nothing more than TMS is going on. It feels wild, it feels real, it feels physical. The pain is extremely real. It's as real as any pain experience for even true injuries. And yeah, it's all real. So please don't ever let anybody convince you, or don't convince yourself, that it's all in your head. It's real. The brain is creating it, but that doesn't mean that the pain's not real. You're not imagining anything. So what do you do in the case that the pain flares, or pain that hasn't been around for a while comes back and kind of kicks you in the gut? Breathe, relax, soothe, remind yourself, hey, if I had a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months worth of feeling good, that means I can get right back to it. And just ride out the storm, right? We've got a storm here in the Northeast. I don't know if you can see all the snow, but we're having a storm. But guess what? This storm's going to pass. Probably by this time tomorrow it'll be gone. And we start cleaning up. So view pain returning or a flare-up as just a short storm in the nervous system where the symptoms come back. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. It's just simply, you know, the nervous system getting a little bit overfull and overflowing, and the symptoms come back. And the more calm you can react or respond to it, the shorter of a duration this flare will be. And that's the key point. If you freak out in response to the pain coming back or a pain flare, you're going to delay the symptoms fading away again. Because when you're freaking out, you've got the adrenaline and the cortisol, and you're amping up your nervous system and your body and your heart rate and your blood pressure and everything else. And fear is the fuel to all of this stuff. So anything you can do to just kind of reassure yourself, you know, Dan, it's okay. You're not dying. This is just a return. This is just, you know, a passing storm. And it is passing, because these things do pass as long as you're not freaking out, right? So breathe. You're gonna be okay. To deal with the pain flare, take care of yourself. Smile. Know that you're gonna be fine. To deal with pain returning after a while, remind yourself all of the stuff you did and the confidence you had and the peace of mind that you had that led to the symptoms diminishing in the first place. You're not starting over. It may feel like it. The pain may be as bad as it was, or maybe even worse than it was, but that doesn't mean your recovery process has to start over. I like to say, consider it like a journey, you know? Pain flare or pain returning, it's kind of like making a wrong turn somewhere. So let's say you're driving from New York to California and you make a turn halfway in the country and you go off course for a couple of miles. That's all it is. Doesn't mean you're back in New York City. It just means you made a wrong turn somewhere and you didn't do it. I don't want you to interpret that to mean that you did something wrong. No. It just means that some things happened and we don't have to figure out exactly what you did so that you can never do that again. No, we don't have to figure it all out. If you can connect the dots and say, wow, just had a fight with my mom, the pain came back, okay, that makes sense. But if you can't find an obvious cause, stop looking. It doesn't matter. The primary thing that matters is to respond calmly, reassure yourself that you're okay, and get back on track to the things that got you feeling better in the first place. So, for anybody who hasn't felt better yet, and you've just had a fairly steady set of pain and all of a sudden it goes from bad to worse, same thing. Just respond calmly. Reassure yourself of the fact that it's TMS. You know what TMS is. You know it applies to you. Soothe your body. Feel your feelings. Absolutely check in and say, hey, what's going on emotionally? And sometimes we can find, oh yeah, there are some emotional stresses, emotional hurt that I have not been attending to, and maybe that's why the symptoms have jumped. Again, if you can connect the dots, great, but if you can't, keep moving on to the soothing part. Breathe. Know that you're going to be all right. Shift your attention away from the symptoms and away from the pain flare-up to virtually anything else. Try to smile, try to laugh, see if you can have some fun, and be as indifferent as possible. And if indifference seems impossible when the pain is kicking your butt so hard, then at least don't freak out. Reassure yourself you're going to be fine, that it's all just TMS, and that's the answer, right? Pain flare-ups are not this new problem to be solved. It's basically just a reminder to keep doing the stuff that I talk about all the time, which is to teach your brain that you're okay through accurate knowledge, the assessment, feeling your emotions, soothing your body, calming your thinking, being as indifferent as possible. If you can't be indifferent, at least don't freak out, and reassure yourself that you're going to be fine, and then shift your focus away towards living your life. That's the answer. Whether the pain is constant and you haven't had any improvement yet, whether the pain has diminished and it's come back harder, or whether you've been feeling fantastic and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it seems, the pain comes back after you've been feeling like you were cured and everything is great. The same solution applies. So don't waste time trying to figure it out, because you may convince yourself that as long as if you can't figure it out, you're going to convince yourself that it's going to keep on happening. And that may or may not be true. Sorry. Camera's getting a little snowy. So that's all I got for you. I'm going to just show you around a little bit of the beautiful snow. And I'm going to go inside because I'm getting covered in snow and my sweatpants are getting snow on the outside, and got to go in and shower up and get ready for some calls. So love you guys and gals. Hope you enjoyed the snow. I know I do, even though it's flying in my face. I'm not even going to shovel the walk yet because it's still snowing. So, all right. Love you guys and gals. We'll talk to you soon.